Maxie, I've been thinking, should we do season 3 on the Dr. Joe show? You sure? You sure it's a good idea? You know, that's what I'm talking about. Anyway, that was fun. So, let's move on. Oh, now here's a funny thing. After insulting me, he decides to go on and give his own 2 cents like I give a fuck about the cigar. This is a good cigar if you like leather flavor, but last time I checked, no one consumes leather as sustenance. That's like, right there, a dead giveaway that you've been smoking cigars for 6 months. That's like one of the first fucking things people start saying is, nobody ever chewed on a couch before. You know, had leather. Come on, man. As soon as someone mentions leather as a good thing, you lose me. Good. Leather's a good thing. I hate people who romanticize cigars as an affair. Your spelling's terrible. It's no different than having a drink or dessert. Well, then you're just not fucking into it, man. Then what the fuck you watching for? You know what amazes me about people like you, Alex? You're not into it. It's no different than a drink or dessert. Yet, you're taking your time to sit in front of your fucking computer and write this whole fucking bibliography about all your opinions. No one gives a fuck what you think, man. If you don't like the show... Exactly. If you don't like the show, just move on. Just move on. Fuck you. You fucking... You tell me to basically fuck you, you suck, and then you want to give me your opinion on cigars. No different than a drink or dessert. Well, I beg to differ. First of all, it doesn't take me an hour or an hour and a half to eat a fucking piece of chocolate mousse cake. Okay? So it's a big fucking difference. A drink, shot, boom, gone. You know? Okay, so maybe a glass of wine you can enjoy for 15, 20 minutes. You know, whatever, sits around. Wine is probably the closest thing. But nothing else demands your attention as closely as a cigar. Except for maybe a pipe. But a cigar. Cigar, man. There's nothing else that you sit there for 45 minutes, an hour and a half, 2 hours. It demands your full attention. You know? Or maybe not. You can smoke it while doing other things in a way, but look, there are different levels to everything. I don't know if you've noticed this, but people are different, Alex. There are different levels to everything. A car is just a car. You get in a car, you drive it to work, you drive home, you fill it up with gas, it gets old in a few years, you sell it, you get a new one. Or a car is, you know, a 1965 fucking Thunderbird in mint condition that's been fully fucking restored, and it's won 800 fucking first place trophies at every car show from here to the fucking... Anyway, let's just move on. Here, for me, H. Upmann Magnum 46 is 100 times better than this cigar and cheaper. It's all marketing and hype. Look, I don't totally disagree with you there. There's a lot of marketing and hype going on. All right? 46 is always great smoke no matter the year. Yeah, I've said that. I reviewed the 46 too. This isn't my only video. You know, the fucking Monte 2 wasn't my only video. Well, Monte Cristo, most vitolas change in quality every year. Well, this is a bullshit statement. 46 is always a great smoke no matter the year, while Monte Cristo's most vitolas change in quality every year. You know what? Kind of a bullshit statement. I'll agree that 46s are probably more consistent because they sell less of them. The Monte Cristo 2 has always been a huge in-demand cigar. It's a global market brand. H. Upmann only became global market, what, 2007 or something like that? Or even later? I'm not quite sure. I don't remember exactly. But they haven't been global market as long as Monte Cristo has been global market for decades. Number 2 is a world-famous cigar. Shush. Produced over and over and over and over and over. Quality's going to change. So, yeah, you may find more consistency in the 46. You know, but see, this is the thing. You can just disagree and say, look, this is how I feel. You don't have to be a dick and then give me your whole shit like I fucking care about it. You know, when you start talking here, some of your statements are actually, can actually form a conversation if you wanted to, instead of chase the fucking person away. Who says, man, I wish I could taste some leather, sulfur, chlorine, or ammonia? Who said anything about sulfur, chlorine, and ammonia? Like, dude, first of all, yeah, ammonia, that's when we talk about that when cigars are sick. No, no one wants to taste ammonia. Leather is a flavor when you get very deep flavors that are really past coffee, on the verge of becoming bitter, but not quite bitter yet. They're still acceptable. Some people like it, some people don't. Everybody's different. Look, I gotta move on. Your statement, you managed to write a fucking book here, even though you don't like my show. All right. And even though cigars aren't nothing to you, you have a lot to say about something that's just a fucking cigar. You know? Anyway, let's move on a little bit more. Wow, I'm starting to nub here. Oh, that's good. This guy won't shut up. Listen, you gotta be you gotta be quiet for a while. Powell Janizek, you're probably gonna slag the shit out of me next episode. But it really hits me the way you pronounce the names of Cuban cigars. Oh, he capitalized Cuban because I'm pronouncing Cuban wrong. I'm sorry. Cuban cigar. Cuban cigaro. Cuban. Okay. You love them. Please learn how to say Cohiba, Romeo y Juliet. Oh, yeah, right. Romeo y Julieta. Okay. All right. This is where the whole Ramon Allones thing is coming into play. Listen. I'm in America here. You know what I mean, man? Everybody from New York to California pronounces cigars this way, for the most part. Unless they're from overseas, or unless they insist on thinking pronunciation is a must when talking about something, otherwise you don't know your shit. That's a load of crap. You know how to say tatuaje in the correct way, do the same with Cuban. I'm sorry, Cuban. Apart from that deadly show, now what do you mean by that, deadly show? Like, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about because I say Ramon Allones instead of Ramon Allones? First of all, I could say it either way I want. I choose to say it the way that most people in America will understand me. Do you know how many fucking comments I will get about what an asshole I am if I start going Ramon Allones all the time? Or if I start going, yeah, so today we're going to be reviewing the Romeo y Julieta Churchill. Come on, man. It's like the same thing as when you turn on Spanish TV and you hear like, Tide bleach. You know, come on, man. You know, it doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Apart from that, love your videos. Enjoy the knowledge I get out of it. I just want to buy more. It is fucking addicting, isn't it? Smoking, buying. Yeah, it is. Now, here's the thing. I'm not going to slag the shit out of you. I just poked some fun at you with the whole little thing I did, and that's about all I'm going to do. But that brings me to somebody who commented on your comment, Strawman. He goes, dude, shut your fucking greasy, stinky... I can't even read the rest of this. You know, as much as I curse, and I've tried to tone it down a bit, really, you can find this comment. Actually, I'm going to probably delete this comment after this, but we are really nubbing now. Strawman, you need to chill out, bro. All right? This is not that kind of place. I've already erased about 6 of your comments. You'll notice that others are still on there, the good ones, because you have some really good things to say. But calling people names, saying things about their mom and what you did with them last night, it's not acceptable, man. It's just not acceptable. Now, this guy hasn't made another comment since your little thing. If anybody's going to rant on anybody, it's me. My show, my rules, and I'm going to choose who gets fucked and who doesn't. It's not right, man. The guy's just trying to leave a comment. It's not like he told me I'm an asshole or anything. He just pointed something out that he thought was important, which I don't think so. You know, you don't have to go like that. All right? Maybe it's the anabolic steroids. You know, how do I know? Because you told us in your comments. Chill out. I don't want to ban you. In the entire history of the Dr. Joe Show, only one person has ever been banned, and that person wasn't a cigar smoker. There was some stupid high school kid doing a project. Long story. If you want to know about it, go back. Please, I don't want to ban anybody. I like to leave all the comments that come through up, even the ugly ones. Chill out. Okay? Really, man. Jesus Christ. And Powell, if you're still out there, don't take it the wrong way. Shit's fucking with your head. Now, Carlos Fernandez, I enjoy your videos, but with all due respect, my understanding is that leaving ring band while smoking cigars is considered like trying to show off how expensive the cigar is. All right. For your information, number 2 or number 1 Monte Cristo or H. Upmanns in general had square tips, not elongated ones. Again, thank you for your videos. Very complete and informational. The whole thing with the ring band, that's like one of the first things people stumble upon about cigar etiquette. If you want to learn more about that, please refer to my Cigars 101 episodes. All about that. Yes. In cigar culture, it was considered rude, and this comes from a long time ago, to leave the band on your cigars when smoking in public, as not to make the guy next to you smoking a $5 cigar in a lounge setting or something like that feel inferior. True. Not so much these days. And in fact, some have said that leaving the band on is a good way to invite conversation. Hey, I see you're smoking. How is that? Pretty good. So there's two sides to that coin. Now, on my show, I'm not trying to impress anybody. It's a review. It's a review, and I want to keep the band on as long as possible so people see what cigar I'm reviewing. You know, I know, yeah, the title says it. You already know what cigar you're reviewing, but it's just something I choose to do because I'm reviewing the cigar, so I'm leaving the band on. You already know what I'm smoking. You know, I mean, I'm not trying to show off or say, like, look what I'm smoking, a Cuban Ramon Allones. I mean, come on, man. That's not what it's about. So your understanding is, yes, it's true, but it has nothing to do with my show. And the rules of reviews are up in the air because, you know what? It only started a few years ago with the YouTube extravaganza here. So I choose to leave the band on when reviewing my cigar as much as possible. And that's it. Especially because if people start in the middle, which happens a lot on YouTube as these videos are in different parts, they always know what cigar I'm smoking. In this case, it's pretty obvious anyway, but... So, that's number 1. For your information, he goes, number 2, number 1, H. Upmanns in general had square tips, not elongated ones. First of all, I know what you're referring to, the Bolivar episode, when I was talking about the difference between bellicosos and pyramids and things like that. Square tips, you're talking about the other end of the cigar, and it's called the foot. You're talking about the other end of the cigar. The side that I was talking about, the conical side, the head of the cigar that comes to a point on a pyramid or, in America, torpedo, or whatever you want to call it, can't be square now, can it? And you're talking about the natural form the foot of the cigar takes, and even some of the upper body, because of being box pressed into a dress box. Not all of the cigars will look like that. If they come in a cabinet box, for instance, they won't have that squared appearance. Or not so, unless they've been put in a press, they're not going to have that dramatic square appearance as you see with a dress box. So they're not called tips, they're called feet, and you were referring to the different... Nah, it wasn't very nice. That wasn't for you. He's overactive. I got to turn him off. But anyway, listen. Before you make all these comments telling me you're wrong, you know, watch a little more. You know, there's a lot of information there, and I'm sure you can learn a thing or two. You know, when I first got into the whole thing, I had to be humble. Everybody knew a lot of shit, and I didn't know crap. You know, so I wouldn't go up to somebody and say, "Hey, by the way," you know, I would ask them about it, and I wouldn't say, "By the way, the tips are supposed to be square." It would be funny, a square, even in a Neho, that, you know. Oh my God, whatever. Listen, guys, we're running out of time. My nub, I think, is going out, and I'm having so much fun, and this cigar was just so good that I just wish it would Wish it would never end. Oh, man. You know what? I think that's it, folks. I think that's about it. And that's a shame because there were really a few other comments I wanted to get into. Well, that's about it, folks. I wish I had time for more. I have a load more comments I wanted to get to. Some really good ones that'll strike up some very interesting conversation. But unfortunately, they will... Excuse me. But unfortunately, they will have to be saved for next time, which is a good thing because that gives us plenty to talk about. This was incredible. What a smoke. And every time, I mean, it's not my first one. Like I said, I've been smoking cabinets of these for years. They're fantastic. Fantastic, fantastic, fantastic everyday smokes. We'll get to that in the final rating. Our last third, not really very different from the second third. Packed with flavor, very earthy, great deep bassy twang going on. Coffee notes, toffee notes, no spice, you know. But this is a subtly, naturally sweet cigar with a very earthy, just tobacco-rich base. I don't know how else to put it. Fantastic smoke. Fantastic everyday smoke. So for our last third, that's what you have. Not so much complexity. Nothing really surprising going on. But in my opinion, just one of the best cigars you can go for if you're looking for something to smoke every single day. Let's do our final rating. And thank you so much for joining me this evening or this day or whenever the hell it is you've been watching. Please do come back for more very soon. Season 3 will be uploaded on a regular basis to the best of my ability. We've got a lot in the works, a lot of great episodes planned for you. So keep on coming back. Let's do it. Final rating. Well, there you have it, folks. Our Ramon Allones, or excuse me, Ramon Allones Specially Selected, all smoked up, a.k.a. RASS, R-A-S-S. You'll see that online a lot. Appearance, 1. You saw them. No need for me to explain. They're beautiful. Burn, 1. You know, when I have a cigar that lights perfect and goes all the way to the end, even with me talking a mile a minute without going out or giving me any issues with the burn, that's a great burn. Construction, therefore, 1. Draw, perfect, 1. Unbelievable draw. Couldn't have been looser or tighter, just perfect. Pre-draw flavor, 1. Very solid, promised a great cigar. Overall flavor, 1.75. Every puff was just packed with flavor and good flavor. No notes of bitterness, no notes of ammonia, no notes of anything you don't want in there. Just rich, deep Cuban tobacco flavor. Aroma, fantastic. Floral, sweet, little bit of cedar, little bit of pepper through the nose, just fantastic balance. Definitely wouldn't want it more mild, and I seldom want them more strong, and it went from beginning to end without any issue as far as, wow, it's a little strong, or that's a little light, just perfectly balanced. Complexity, a 0.5. This is not a very complex cigar, but therefore that brings me to my final statement. Hassle-free, extremely flavorful. The RASS is one solid everyday smoke, rated at 9.25 on the Dr. Joe Show, one of my favorite everyday smokes, and I hope that it will soon perhaps become one of yours. So that's that, guys. That's all we have time for. I've got to go. Time to make another episode. You keep on watching, keep on commenting, but most of all, keep on smoking. This is the Dr. Joe Show.
Say goodnight, Max.